I will not give Donbass to Putin, Donald. I will not give Donetsk to Putin, Donald. I will not give Zaporizhia to Putin, Donald. We will not give up our land. There are no gifts. They invaded Ukraine. This is war. We are standing up for our sovereignty, Donald. So says a furious President Zelenskyy and a furious alliance of the coalition of the willing, made up of European allies, of Ukraine, of Canada, of Australia, and others who are asserting themselves strongly against the coalition of the killing, which is Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and others who visited Shanghai to try to assert a form of authoritarianism, Putin-like, around the world. Going back to what Zelenskyy said, in 4 years, Putin hasn't even managed to occupy 30% of the region. To take it, he would have to sacrifice millions of his own people. There will be no gifts. So in stark contrast to that military parade we saw in Tiananmen Square following the Tianjin conference of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization led by Xi Jinping, to quite literally laugh in the face of how weak and pathetic Donald Trump is. A show of dictatorial strength against Donald, who has 4 warships, 1 nuclear submarine right outside Venezuela, where Donald Trump bragged about killing 11 people he claims are terrorists on a small fishing boat, and says, they're Tren de Aragua. Look who I killed. And he shows the video. Do you realize how actually weak that makes you look? And especially when the very next day you don't put out any evidence of who the people you are that you killed, while you put these death videos out on your social media. It makes you look so weak. And by the way, at the same time, Donald Trump is basically selling off portions of our military bases to his billionaire friends. Yep, the Defense Department is considering leasing parts of the Marine Corps base Camp Pendleton for commercial use, with profits helping fund Trump's Golden Dome missile defense project. A current defense official and a former defense official told NBC News, oh, so just sell off our military bases for commercial use. Follow the damn money, because all Donald Trump cares is his personal wealth while selling out our allies. Going back to what's going on in Europe right now, in Paris today, the coalition of the willing is meeting. It will be led by French President Emmanuel Macron, Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the United Kingdom. You'll have other leaders in Europe there as well. And you have Zelenskyy arriving in Paris yesterday. Zelenskyy posted the following message yesterday as he arrived in Paris. He talked about French President Emmanuel Macron and France standing with Ukraine. We are grateful to the entire French nation and personally to Emmanuel Macron for such strong support for our country and for France's leadership in many initiatives and coalitions. During today's meeting with President Macron, we aligned our positions ahead of tomorrow's meeting of the Coalition of the Willing Leaders and discussed preparatory work on security guarantees. I believe that our efforts will deliver strong security guarantees for Ukraine. We are all working on this together. We also discussed defense support for Ukraine, addressing current needs, strengthening sanctions against Russia, and the possibilities for using frozen Russian assets. Particular attention was paid to our path toward the European Union. We appreciate France's support in this regard. France stands with Ukraine. Also, Zelenskyy attended the Ukraine Nordic Baltic States Summit, sometimes referred to as the NB8. I noted that the Russian economy is in bad shape, fuel and labor shortages, many industries in decline. Putin constantly humiliates before China as he tries to sell them as much raw material as possible. This is telling. Sanctions are working. And take a look right here. This is the coalition of the killing. And as Donald Trump looks weaker than ever, this is the video. Just so you can see, this is Chinese propaganda, so I want to flag for you it, but this is what they're doing in China in response to Donald Trump flailing and looking like a total loser. Play this clip. This is from CGTN Europe, which is China's state-controlled media, but this is being blasted everywhere. Here, play this clip. Now, Donald Trump responds to that. What do you think about the Xi Jinping, Putin, Kim Jong-un summit that just took place, Donald? And Donald goes, this is what a pathetic idiot he is. He's like, I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was beautiful. And they were hoping I was watching. And then 2 days before, Donald Trump posted, I hope you all enjoy your meeting, conspiring against the United States, as though like Donald's like a jilted lover seeing the military parade that he wanted for himself in Tiananmen Square. It looks like you're conspiring against us. Yeah, they are conspiring against us because they sense utter weakness on you. Here, play this clip.
We saw a dramatic picture where we saw the leaders of Russia and North Korea and China together. The first time the leaders of those three countries have been together in this sort of show of solidarity. You said that they're conspiring against the United States. What do you think they're conspiring to do? And given this, is it reason why you should slap or would consider slapping secondary sanctions on Russia if they're conspiring against the U.S. now?
Well, I've already done that with regard to India, and we're doing it with regard to other things. And I put out a truth last night. You saw that. And I was the one that brought it up. I said, they're only doing this. They're looking to, when they did what they did, I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very, very impressive. But I understood the reason they were doing it, and they were hoping I was watching, and I was watching. My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next week or two. I think that we helped China very much, as you know, when they talk about freedom. And I don't believe that, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe that America, that the United States was acknowledged for helping China to gain its freedom. But perhaps that was just that was a sleight of hand. I mean, I was very surprised. I watched the speech last night. President Xi's a friend of mine, but I thought that the United States should have been mentioned last night during that speech because we helped China very, very much.
And you know who they sense weakness on too? J.D. Vance, or as California Governor Gavin Newsom calls him, Just Dance Vance. Yesterday when J.D. Vance was asked, under what legal authority did you blow up this little fishing boat with 11 Venezuelans who you claim are Tren de Aragua without providing any evidence that they were, with being judge, jury, executioner? What legal authority? What international law authority? Explain it to us, JD. In other words, it was illegal. But here's what JD has to say. Play this clip.
On the Venezuela vessel strike, what legal authority were you guys working under, and will there be an after report on the strike?
Well, I'm sure there's going to be an after report. I mean, the legal authority, and I want to talk about these kids, is that there are people who are bringing literal terrorists who are bringing deadly drugs into our country, and the President of the United States ran on a promise of stopping this poison from coming into our country.
The weather is heating up, and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend that you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating, so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Now, using those silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle Made sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Upgrade your sleep as the weather heats up. Go to trymiracle.com/Meidas to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Meidas at checkout, you'll get free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Meidas and use the code Meidas to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Meidas to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode.
Now, here is the moment that Zelenskyy arrived in Paris. You can see him right here, shake hands with French President Emmanuel Macron. Play this clip. You also had Zelenskyy again at the Ukraine Nordic Baltic State Summit. You see him there meeting with Mette Frederiksen, the Prime Minister of Denmark. And of course, Donald Trump has attacked Denmark's sovereignty by trying to conquer Greenland and sending spies to Greenland. Take a look right here. The Finnish President Alexander Stubb and Zelenskyy at the airport yesterday. Notice two things here. Red carpet rollout for Zelenskyy. That's a clear troll at Trump and showing Zelenskyy respect. Also, matching outfits, not suits, a subtle yet clear sign of respect and unity. Two strong world leaders with the same demonic terrorist neighbor, right? I mean, you want to talk about strength? How about former President Biden bringing Finland and Sweden into NATO? You don't get much stronger than that, as opposed to Donald Trump saying, I wonder if they're conspiring against us, everybody. So Donald Trump, though, yesterday was asked during that bizarre press conference he had with the new president of Poland. Donald Trump was asked, so what are you doing to help Ukraine? How are you funding Ukraine to stop Russia's war? To which Donald Trump responds, we've stopped giving Ukraine money. So that's how we do it. As Kate from Kharkiv says, so to stop Russia's invasion, we've stopped helping the country being invaded. That's essentially his logic. Ukraine never attacked anyone. We've only defended. Cutting support doesn't stop aggression. It helps the aggressor to kill us faster. Here, watch this.
And Ukraine soldiers, right? Not American soldiers, not soldiers from Poland, but they're human beings, they're souls. They have parents, they wave goodbye to their parents, and their parents never see them again. That's the end of them. Over a stupid war. And I want to see it stopped. Now, we have stopped the money we send weapons to NATO, they pay full price. We don't, Biden spent $350 billion so stupidly. And it was one of the reasons that this whole thing happened. A big reason this war happened was sitting right in these chairs, this one in particular. So I will tell you that I think we're going to have a good solution, but they're losing soldiers at levels that nobody has seen since the Second World War. This is the worst conflict, and it's just going on and on. It's one's defense, one's offense. The offense moves a little bit. Just a little bit. You take a look.
And it should also be noted that the MAGA Republicans, this vile party that they are right now, they invite Nigel Farage from the UK, the far right extremist in the UK who attacks liberal democracies, one of the people responsible for Brexit. This is who the MAGA Republicans platform. Because let's be clear, there is an international fascist movement. There is an international right-wing extremist movement. That's what's taking place. And to combat it, we need an international democracy movement. That's why we've started Meidas Canada, which Charlie Angus is running. Solely Charlie Angus is running it with his crew, with his team in a uniquely Canadian way. We stay out of it. You support democracy. You're a leader like Charlie Angus, run it. And Charlie Angus is crushing it right now. We need these across the world to combat what's happening here. Take a look at Nigel Farage as he gets cross-examined by Democratic Congressmember Moskowitz. Play this clip.
Mr. Farage, thanks for being here, coming across the pond. I'm sorry to hear you're leaving the hearing early.
Well, it's not a question of leaving the hearing early, but I do have other things to do. Yes.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. Where are you going?
It's not lunch, I promise you.
It's not lunch. You're not going to have lunch.
I don't think so, no.
No lunch.
Sad, isn't
You're
it?
meeting with the president?
I can't remember what the schedule is. It's possible.
You can't remember if you're meeting with the president.
I'm being very polite. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing this afternoon, but I can assure you that...
But there's the free speech hearing. You're not going to tell me what you're doing this afternoon?
Free speech is one thing. Discretion's quite another, too.
Okay. All right, so you're leaving to have lunch with the president.
And finally, Zelenskyy has this message as well. I think it's deeply important. Last night, Russia launched another massive strike, nearly 500 drones and over 200 missiles, including ballistic. These strikes are now regular several times a week, a clear signal that Russia rejects any attempt to end the war and wants to keep fighting. We must assume this is Russia's main scenario now. We began a concrete discussion with our partners on two key issues: our defense now, while Russia's war continues, and our defense in the future, the security guarantees we need since Russia stays on its course. On defense right now, I thank Denmark for its leadership in funding our weapons production. This is already a historic contribution. A new plant for missiles and drones is being built in Denmark. We agree Latvia, Lithuania, and others will follow, building together with Ukraine. We discussed this other important initiative that's going to add $1 billion every month, and it talks about Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Latvia, Iceland are already in. Boosting Ukraine's air defense is critical. We also all coordinated positions on a new sanctions against Russia and on work with our partners, especially the US. We must all speak to America with one voice for our shared interests. One voice. Coalition of the willing versus the coalition of the killing, because Donald Trump is so utterly weak and pathetic. It's essentially what Zelenskyy is saying right there. Also, Putin continues to troll, right? Putin says, well, if Zelenskyy wants to come to Moscow, I'll do a meeting with him in Moscow. There is about 8 to 10 other countries that are willing to host this meeting between Zelenskyy and Putin. Okay, Zelenskyy said, I'm agreeable to a ceasefire right now. Putin said, nope. Putin said nope to security guarantees. Putin said nope to any bilateral or trilateral meeting. Putin said nope. Zelensky's ready to go. Zelensky's ready to have meetings. You name it, pick any territory other than obviously Moscow. It's not going to happen where they try to kill Zelenskyy. And where's Trump? By the way, Trump is too weak and pathetic to go to Paris himself. He's got to do the call virtually. I thought he was supposed to go and be at this coalition of the willing. No, Donald Trump rather cross his arms, watch TV, and mope over the meeting that took place in Tianjin and then in Tiananmen Square, where China was mocking Donald Trump, beclowning Donald Trump. And as an American, it is so deeply humiliating. You know, one thing I see as well, when I see all of those individuals, those leaders of those dictatorships that are standing behind Xi Jinping in that one photo. If you remove China, all you're talking about there is 6% of the world's GDP. The United States, Canada, European Union, Australia, if we united together and been normal, we could stand up to these people. But stop showing utter weakness, Donald. It's embarrassing. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.